And welcome back to Red Card. I'm your host, Anthony Toter, and once again, we welcome you worldwide, and we thank you so much for taking time out of your busy lives to join us here on Red Card. And right now, a guy that is mightily busy with his team pushing for that playoffs is Philadelphia Union captain Brian Carroll. Brian, welcome Red Card, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to have you on. The first and most important question tonight for you, Brian, is simply this. Are you letting the kids enjoy some chocolate treats tonight?
I'm letting them pretty much do whatever they want to right now so they don't bother me doing the interview. So they can have chocolate treats, pretzels, watch movies, stay up late, whatever they need.
Video games, you name it. That's what a good dad does, Brian.
Absolutely.
Brian, let's talk about a big win on the weekend over TFC. Late game heroics by Kleberson and the points that you needed desperately to keep pushing for that playoffs. How important was that?
It's huge. I can't overstate that. I thought, we had enough chances to maybe, score more than one earlier in the game, but they obviously had a couple of chances as well where, they hit the post and had a couple breakaways where players like Raymond Gaddis and Zach came up huge in keeping us in the game. And then, to go down a man and then have a free kick goal go in stoppage time by Kleberson, which was an amazing free kick, was huge for us. And hopefully that's something that will, build momentum and something we'll be able to look back on at the end of the season and say this, sparked us going into hopefully a competitive playoff spot.
Brian, watching the game, it looked like to me you guys were tentative. You guys were not playing the offensive game that I've seen you guys play all season long, which was loose, was easy, was relaxed, was creative. All of a sudden, I think with about 10, 15 minutes left, I think you somehow in your guys' minds, you guys decided to go for it. Did I read that wrong?
No, obviously we understood how big those points were at home against a team like, it didn't matter who we were playing. TFC could be anybody. We needed those points at home, and sometimes that adds a lot of pressure and makes it a little bit more difficult to execute at times. But at some point, we just had to throw everything we could at it to try and get the 3 points. And I thought as the game went along, we understood and realized that more and did our best to accomplish those 3 points. And Kleberson pulls us out for us in the end.
Brian, you're going to hit a milestone on the weekend against DC United, 300 games. Congratulations to you, and what a great career you've had so far. I'm pretty sure you want to continue it with Philly and possibly raise that MLS Championship Cup. Your team, I look at Connor Casey, I look at Jeff Park. You guys are veterans that understands what it takes to win. You guys have won before. How important is that in the locker room in this stretch run right now?
It's important, and it's nice to have those guys that have the experience that have been there in those tough matches and those deep playoff runs before. But it's also important to have the youthful energy and dynamic aspect of the game that we have in a lot of our other players. So it's a combination of all of that hopefully is going to propel us going forward.
Some of the best fans in the league don't get enough respect in my mind. The Philly fans are so patient. They're so backing their team week in and week out, year in and year out. How great is this to try to reward them to get into the playoffs and go for it all this year?
It would be huge. They've been spectacular for us ever since the initiation of the club. And they've been tremendous ever since I've been here. They are passionate. They're knowledgeable. They fill the stadium and give us that extra boost game in and game out at home. And, they deserve it the most.
Brian, I won't keep you too long because you're a busy guy. Just a quick couple other questions. How important is it for the next couple games coming up that you guys keep focused? Because you look at the Eastern Conference, you can pass Montreal, you can get into that mix with Houston and also Kansas City. To me, it is so vital and wide open right now, the East, like I've never seen it before.
Yeah, I don't even think we have to mention that. We understand how huge every game is going forward and, how tough they're going to be. And there are numerous other teams in those same positions. So we just have to, play our best game in and game out, and we do that by practicing the best we can day in and day out. And you know, hopefully at the end of the day, if we've done all of that work, that are the chemistry in the locker room, the amount of good guys that we have in the locker room, and the amount of good work that our staff puts together, preparing game plans and preparing us all week, hopefully we'll be rewarded at the end of the season, you know, with a playoff position.
Brian, the last question is this, then we'll let you go. The American player right now is sought after worldwide by many clubs. We look at Josie Altidore, we look at Michael Bradley. I mean, I could go on and on, Tim Howard. Now it looks like the USA has put the rest of the world on alert that they're ready to challenge for a World Cup title. How great is that? Growing up in the USA, playing at grassroots level, helping some of the young kids out to make them dream that this could be possible one day.
It's huge, and it's only going to get more competitive, and our league is only going to get stronger. You know, it's going to be even more competitive in the next 5 to 10 years than it already is, and we're going to be competing. You know, guys are going to be competing for roster spots across the entire globe. So it's tremendous that we've been able to build this league to where it is right now. Credit to all parties involved in that aspect, and you know, it's fabulous as an American soccer player growing up through the club, high school, college ranks to be able to fulfill my dreams playing a professional, playing soccer in a professional capacity. So it's been huge, and it's great to see all of the players that have come up through the MLS ranks now playing at the highest level overseas, and hopefully that propels us into a good World Cup position. And an even better showing.
And we'll close it out with this very quickly. What advice would you love to give the kids, Brian, that are out there that might be struggling with confidence, might be on the bench because their coach doesn't believe in them, but they have that dream to be like Brian Carroll one day and play professional soccer? What would you say to that young boy or even that young girl that loves the game so much, but their coach doesn't have that confidence in them?
Keep your head up. Be positive. It doesn't always happen right away or as fast as you may want it. You know, I developed late, and it wasn't until, you know, midway through, you know, my high school years that I even had the opportunity to, you know, be on a state team or a regional team or a youth national team or, you know, in this day and age, you know, an academy team. So, continue to fight, continue to work hard day in and day out, because eventually your skill and hard work and determination will be competitive and even better than, you know, athletic gifts that some other people might have currently. So continue to stick with it, be positive, have a great attitude, and, you know, you never know how far that can take you, because it's definitely served me well.
Great advice, Brian Carroll. Keep up the good work with the Philadelphia Union. Congratulations on the milestone again on the weekend against DC United, 300 games, and good luck in the playoffs once you get there. And again, you're a class guy on the field, and we've heard a ton of stories away from the field as well. We really appreciate your time, Brian.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me. Take care.
Pleasure. That is Brian Carroll of the Philadelphia Union. He's a busy guy. He's got kids to watch, and absolutely we're going to let him go. He's got more important things than to talk to me instead of being a good dad at home and a good player on the field like he has been for the Philadelphia Union, a leader, a true pro, and a guy, I think, with the Philadelphia Union, with the rest of his team, can really scare a lot of teams in the playoffs. Beware of Philly. I would not like to play Philly in the first round. They've got veterans like Connor Casey, Jeff Park, and as we saw, Brian Carroll. These guys, to me, are a dangerous, dangerous group. Beware. Beware. We'll take a quick commercial break. Then coming back, we're going out to the Pacific Northwest to discuss a second half of a game. Portland Timbers, Vancouver Whitecaps. What a goal by Camilo. As I said, if you haven't seen it, you got to see it. Back in 30 seconds right here on Red Card.